this is Coach Hall, and welcome to Monday Motivational Meeting on Tuesday. That's right, it's Tuesday, September 28th, 2021. Smiley faces everywhere. You know why? Because I am super happy. Had the greatest weekend ever. I mean, it just was a fantastic weekend. I had my birthday last Friday, and I just had this long weekend of just wonderful things. I'll talk to you about that in a few moments. But I want to, right off the bat, talk about the meeting's message, the motivational message for this week, which really is part of what I've experienced this whole weekend. And the message this week is renew, build off the positives, and learn from the negatives. Okay? That is the message I want to give you guys this week to keep you motivated, get you going. Not everybody had a birthday this week, and I did, so it was a good time to celebrate for me. I know one of our group experts, Sonja, she's been under the weather, so she's not, as festive feeling at least as I am, because of what's going on my side of the pond. But on her side of the pond, she's going through a little rough patch here, not feeling so great. Still, amazingly, she posts something wonderful and positive each and every day. She gets up and makes her bed and does her challenge. Bravo. I mean, to me, when the chips are down and you're feeling low and you still get up and push through it, hey, that's effort. That's I'm just in awe. I just have to clap, say thank you so much. And I want to speak as a member of the group when I say that I do, and I'm sure the other members appreciate all the positive messages that you give, and we hope that you make a fast and full recovery ASAP. Okay, so get back on your feet. I hope you feel great, and if I could, I'd send you over a little piece of the chocolate cake that I had, but I don't know if that would help out. By the time it got to you, it'll be a little mushy and might not make you feel better. But the idea is there. All right, what's going on in the group is that we've grown a little bit extra. Remember, we're up to 73, and speaking of the challenge that Sonja's been doing, I kind of slipped off here a couple of days because I've been too busy partying. I've been celebrating my trips around the sun, folks. I've had so many people over to see me, and I spent as many seconds as I could with my 4 children all together. We did everything that we love to do together, and we got very little sleep in the process. So Monday I just had to, I was just crashed. I had to take the day off. I couldn't think straight, and it was wonderful. But today I'm back to it, and so I will get back to posting the bed making drinking water challenge moving forward. Okay. Again, just to mention, I feel so really very blessed with everything that's happened in the last few days. I got to play basketball and ping pong and play chess, pickleball, dancing, karaoke, and spending time with great friends and family. It just doesn't get any better than that for me. And I got to eat some food that tastes really great. Probably not the healthiest. Actually, really isn't very healthy for me. Lots of sweet things, chocolate cakes and flan, and I don't even want to begin because I'll start feeling guilty if I start talking about all this stuff that I consumed over the last few days. But we're going to get back into the healthy patterns beginning today, which is good. Now, I want to talk about renewing and building off positive things and learning from negative things, because that's the message, and it really is a part of what I have experienced, not just over the weekend, but when you hit a 0 or a 5 in your birthdays, right? If you're turning 35, or if you're turning 40, if you're turning 30, or you're turning 25, you're turning 45, you're turning 50, 55, 60, 65, or 70. You hit these fives and these zeros. It seems like, for whatever reason, boom, those are bigger days than, when you're 42 or something, or 37, or 23. Those numbers don't seem to register. I mean, we celebrate those days, obviously, and they're great. But when we hit certain particular mile markers or time markers, makes us take a bit of a pause in life. We go, okay, I just hit a new decade. I just turned 60. And so I've had some time to listen to some of my friends who basically been preparing me. Oh, this is going to be terrible. When you turn 60, you start having all these terrible feelings. Your life is about to end. You're on the downside of life. And honestly, folks, I haven't had any of that. I'm not experiencing any of those types of things. Honestly, I had some issues when I turned 50. For some reason, 50 was a big number for me, and I had this sort of flashback episode that occurred, like everything that I ever had promised to myself, kind of revisited that and started doing this self-analysis. And I was feeling really bad that I didn't hit a lot of these goals that I established for myself. But I also recognized there were so many things that I've done up to that point, and I've done since even that point in time, 10 years ago, that I couldn't even imagine that I would even consider or know anything about. Because I couldn't have known anything about the internet when I was 15 years old. And when I was 15 years old, I created all these sort of goals that I wanted to establish in my life. But we didn't have the internet back when I was 15. Certainly not at the level that you and I can use it today. It was probably available maybe for big corporations, IBM or NASA or something like that, but not at the worldwide web capabilities that we have today. So, and the idea of what it could become, ultimately getting to something like this, where you have a smartphone, there's no wire connected, and that the world I came from, we had telephones, yes, of course, not that old, folks, but there was a wire connected to it. We couldn't have imagined that we would be speaking on devices like this, let alone, could you imagine? No, couldn't have imagined having a phone that actually shows you video, and you could see live somebody else speaking to you from across the world. So most of everybody that I'm speaking to now, all the members of this group, couldn't have ever imagined that when I was 15, having people from all over the world being a part of this group. No way I could have come up with that. So the substitution for what I actually accomplished was far greater than the ideas of what I wanted to accomplish way back then. So, as I said, I went through that whole period when I was in my 50s. Now being in my 60s, don't have any of that going on because I've done so much since that period of reevaluation. I've done a lot. I've grown up even more. I still feel like there's much more to grow up into. There's much more to expand. There's so much more to learn. There's so much more to do. And I have a purpose that's driving me and makes me get up each and every day with energy and enthusiasm, because I see the impact of what it is that I'm doing, and it just keeps me going. So what the message for the day is, at some point when we hit these mile markers, we're going to need to take a pause, even if we're kind of forced to do it, which often happens. Like I said, it happened to me when I was 50. Maybe it might happen to you when you hit 21. I don't know, maybe some of you are not hit 21 yet. Maybe it'll happen when you hit 30. Maybe it'll happen when you hit 35 or 40 or 45. At some point you'll go, oh my God, I'm feeling time. I'm feeling the time. Time has passed, and I had these ideas of what was going to happen during this period of time up until now, and things, some things are going exactly as I hoped. Many things are not. This is what we need to do. We take an opportunity to pause and reflect when this happens to us. It could be the start of a new month. It could be a birthday. It could be, for example, if we started a new month and you wanted to do this, you could do this just in a couple days. We're going to be into October. Go October 1st. Where am I at in my life? What are all the positive things that have happened to me? Because this is where we want to begin. Let's begin with the positive and really spend some time fleshing this out, really just getting into the bigger points and then breaking those bigger points down into finer points. What are the positives that have happened to you in your life? What are the things that you've been able to control and dictate and make and produce in your life? What are some other events that have happened that you've had to respond to or deal with, or how you reacted to them that turned out positive? Okay, build off of that. Look at that as a foundation to grow from this point forward. Now, of course, life isn't all, smiley times and good times and positive, positive, positive. No, life is a balance of things that we have control over and things we don't have control over. And a lot of times the stuff we don't have control over can impact us in a negative way. So we have to learn from that. What do we learn from these negative experiences? We'll write that down too, and then prepare sort of a game plan moving forward as we think about the future, so we don't repeat those mistakes from the past, but instead we learn from those mistakes and we now have a game plan to move forward. So when something like that negativity, that type of experience occurs once again, maybe not even exactly, it could be exactly, but maybe it's just something very similar, and you see the red flags popping up, you don't just fall into the cycle of repeating. You go, wait a minute, this looks like a story I've seen before in my life. Let's try a different strategy that I've already game planned because I've had the time to sit down and think about this when I was calm. Okay, and that's the key component to this whole thing. You want to do all these things, the positive building and the learning from the negative events, when you're calm, because this is when you're able to move into this self as context position, the third person, and see yourself as like a game of chess. I played chess this weekend, so you're playing chess. You're not the pawn itself. You're the player operating the pawn or the knight, the bishop, or any of the other pieces. Okay, and this is what you can do for yourself. You can take these moments in time, these mile markers, these trips around the sun, the beginning of a week. It doesn't matter when it occurs. It could start today, right after this meeting. You say, you know what? That's it. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do a self-reflection. I'm going to figure out what my A point is today. And I'm going to look at all the positives that have happened in my life, and I'm going to write them out, and I'm going to take some time to really get into thinking about what was happening at that moment and have those thoughts just swirl them around in my head as if it was happening to you today, because that's the power of your mind. You can take past events and create it today. We do it all the time. We can do it even at the subconscious level, and a lot of people have this happening to them so often that they seek help from people like myself or therapists or counselors or what have you, because they're overwhelmed and they don't realize that their ego mind is taking full control over their spiritual mind and your mind mastery capabilities. So we want the adult mind, the mind that you can control over the baby mind or the child mind, because the child will take charge if we let the child take charge. And usually that's what happens when we get to a point where you need guys like me to come and help you. So what we want to do is take these opportunities, especially when it's a positive thing. It's a good time when you celebrate a birthday, and to appreciate all the love and everything positive that comes from such a day, and then sit down and reflect on every other positive thing that has happened to you in your life, and ask yourself, how can I build off of that? What can I build off of that? What's happening? What's important to me? Why was I so excited about all this? Yeah, they were celebrating me, but what I was listening to and paying attention to and all the connections that I have was the fact that I've been able to, with every one of these relationships, be very positive in their world, point out their strengths, help them develop where they're weak at so it can become a strength for them. I've been coaching pretty much all of these people in some way, shape, or form, either directly or indirectly in my interactions. And so it's in different fields. Some of my friends are pickleball friends, and so we work with each other and help improve the game of pickleball and enjoy the experiences. Some of my friends are karaoke friends, and we learn on harmonizing and how to sing, maybe stylistically or exactly the way the song was traditionally written. And we play off each other, and we have a lot of fun with it, and we learn how to sing with one another. And it's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. And I did that with every single thing that I did this weekend with the different people that I enjoy doing these things with. Now, not everything was positive. Negative, every game of pickleball that I played, I lost. And I could have chosen to go, I can't even win on my birthday. I can't believe I can't win on my birthday. And I could have taken that mindset and just allow it to ruin the rest of the week, right? The whole weekend could have been ruined because I didn't get to win at pickleball. Or maybe I couldn't hit the note that I wanted to hit when I'm trying to sing a certain song playing karaoke. Or the fact that my son beat me in chess. I could have gotten so upset about the idea that I lost a game of chess that I let it ruin my weekend. But I didn't. I just looked at it and said, okay, where did I make the mistake when I played the game of chess? Oh, I know what happened. I had control of the center of the board, and I made two bad mistakes, and he took advantage. Bravo to him for taking advantage of the mistakes I made. So I have to learn to be smarter when I play him, right? And pickleball, same thing. I knew what I was doing well. I know what I didn't do so well, and what I need to work on. And I'm going to learn from those negative experiences. And for me, that's exciting because I know that there's more room to go. There's upwards. There's a trajectory of upwardness that can be experienced because of that. Rather than just wallowing in, oh God, I can't believe I suck at tennis and I suck at chess and I suck at everything I do. I can't play pickleball and I can't dance. I keep stepping on my own toes. I mean, yes, I can go there. We can all go there. The cake was too sweet. I can't believe that cake was just too sweet to be alive. Yeah, we can do these kinds of things, folks. But we can also choose not to do those things. We can renew ourselves by deciding that I'm going to look at the new challenges, the new routines, and whatever new goals I have created for myself. I can renew the routines I currently have by updating them, building off the positive and learning from the negative. I can renew the goals that I've set for myself by building off the positive of what I've already achieved up to this point and learning from the negatives. And I can renew that. I can renew all of my routines, everything. I can choose to do that, and that's what I chose to do over the weekend. And I have smiley faces. Smiley faces everywhere are happening with me. So life is good, folks, and I wanted to share that with you. I want you guys to, when you get into these situations where you're being celebrated, or you're just having a great day, or it's the end of the month and you just got paid, or whatever's happening, take the time to renew your life. Build off the positive, learn from the negative. Okay, with that, we'll sign off. I want you to live long and prosper, folks. Do so being cool and being open-minded and share the love.